God will often refine you in private so he can reveal you in public. And you have to let this process take place. And you might ask, well, what does that even mean? Well, the refining process is not a very enjoyable process usually. It's like a pruning, it's a sharpening, it's a developmenting process. It's a time where you might be stripped away, things might be stripped away from you, things that maybe you linked your identity to. He might separate you from a way of living that you had, or from friends, or from family, because he's working on some deeper areas. And those deep areas are often really painful. They could be wounds that you've never been healed from. They could be habits that he's trying to get you to correct. And sometimes you might sense that gentle nudging where God's just telling you, it's time to correct these things. Okay? He gives you a lot of grace. And I know a lot of people will just use that as the grace message, and yeah, God is a merciful God. He's a graceful God. He loves you. He is patient. He is kind. But he also wants you to wake up. He wants you to step up. He wants you to listen. He wants you to be obedient. He wants you to let go of those old ways that are only hurting you. And really, deep down, you don't want them anyways. That's the fight that you have with wanting something different but not able to break out of the patterns that keep you stuck or break out of your old ways. We all go through that. So let him refine you and go through that difficult process, because you're going to come out so much more vibrant, so much higher. And when that reveal happens, wow, like what I always find interesting is the amount of people that will piggyback on your success. They want to ride the wave of momentum when things are going great. People will flock towards you. A lot of these aren't true friends. They're just opportunists. They see an opportunity, how can it benefit them, and they pounce. And I have dealt with that. I mean, it's insane when you start looking and you see, man, everybody was like your friend. Everybody wanted something. Everybody was reaching out. Everybody was interested in what you were doing. It was like, but as soon as you're not in that spot, or you're going through and working on other areas, they don't call you. Nobody contacts you. They're not contacting you. They're not, because there's no opportunity for them in it. They want to be a part of something great. And if you're not showing up all the time that this is so great, they don't want to be a part of it. And what's interesting is the time when you're in the refining, which I'm going through right now. So if you haven't gotten the hint, that's what I'm going through. But when you're in the refining, it's such a sacred place. And man, if you can just grasp that and let that process go through, because it's like I'm expecting something amazing. I'm going through it because I know something even better is on the other end. I know it's going to develop me into a person that can handle the blessing. I can carry the mantle that God has for me. I can carry the calling that he has for me. I can really step into my purpose because I'm letting these old things pass away and be stripped from me. And it is a very uncomfortable process. What's interesting is there will be a time where God says he's going to prepare a table in front of your adversaries or your enemies, the people that mocked you, scoffed you, or whatever. And I'm looking forward to that day, because there will be people who will want to come and eat at that table, who won't be able to. They'll have to watch, and that's not an arrogant thing. That's not a prideful thing. It's a um, it's the justice in God. It's his just heart. It's his way of showing you off, not just for yourself, but to show what he can do when you let him. One of the things that he might be stripping away from you during a period of time is money, because he wants to see you steward things, and he wants you to rely on him. Your faith becomes your currency, and money creates opportunity. But if you don't have the ability to handle it, or you can't steward it properly, you'll lose it. So he's looking for people who can handle things in increasing quantities, because it takes, you always hear people who are like, oh, they won the lottery and then they were broke, because the habits didn't change. People will lose weight. A lot of people are taking the weight loss drug, and guess what? When they'll eat whatever they want to eat while they're on it, because they're like, I'm not gaining weight, I could do this. Okay, so your habits aren't changing. As soon as you get off of that, you're going to blow up. You're literally going to gain all that weight back plus some, unless your habits change. Not everybody. Some people can use that to catapult them. I'm not saying that it's bad in all areas, but what I'm saying is if you don't change the behavior, then you will likely go back to that old way. It's that scripture that says, "Don't be the dog that returns to its own vomit." I mean, stop going back to the things that are keeping you stuck, and going back to the wounds, going back to the areas. It's like you're going back into the prison. You're going back into slavery. When God's trying to lead you to the promised land, He's trying to lead you up and out of the pit. He's trying to lead you somewhere exceptional, trying to lead you somewhere where you can flourish and you can develop, and every gift that He has dropped inside of you can be used in this world. I mean, how amazing is that? That He has gifts in you that only you can carry out. You, not anybody else. Only you can carry that out. Only you can do what He's called you to do. Like, when you think about the uniqueness that each one of us has, it's so amazing. And that takes the competition out of things, because you're not competing with anybody. I don't have what that girl has. She doesn't have what I have. We're not competing with each other. I don't want to be like them. They don't want to be like me. Like, you can sharpen each other and inspire each other. You celebrate each other in the differences that you both have, knowing that what that girl's doing is she's doing for the glory of God, and what I'm doing for the glory of God. That creates such a beautiful friendship, and it also helps you to not feel inferior to anybody, or to not feel like you're behind in some way, or you're not good enough, or you're in competition. It takes all of that out. If you don't go through the refining process, it's just going to take you longer and longer to get to where you need to be. And so one of the biggest lies that we believe is that we have more time, that there's going to be a tomorrow, that I'll do that tomorrow, I'll handle this thing tomorrow, I'll get to it later. We push things off, and if you're the type of person where you make a list for things and then you realize, okay, I've had this list for a very long time and now it's getting bigger, or everything from last month is carried over to this month. Now, I do have carryovers, I didn't accomplish it, but if I notice this thing from 3 months ago is now carrying over to this month and then the next month, and I'm just not doing it, why am I not getting that done? Why am I not getting the hard thing done? And so the lie that you have plenty of time, that's a big fat lie, because it keeps you, it makes today a disposable day almost. It allows you to say, well, this is just disposable and I'll have tomorrow to do it. No. Do the things today that you can do. Get those things done. And you don't have to be rushed. You don't have to be anxious. You don't have to feel like you're so far behind. This is why I always talk about the process of elimination first. In everything that you're doing, process of elimination. Start there. Before you make all these grand goals and all of these big changes that you want to do, you have to eliminate the things, the obvious. What's not serving you? That bag of chips with seed oils is not serving the you that you want to become. Having Netflix in this season is not serving you. It's a temptation. Cancel it. You can always get it back. The credit cards, they're not serving you in this season. You want to get back into debt later? Go for it. But for the season, train yourself and make it as easy on yourself as possible. Don't put these obstacles in the way. It's like those are all obstacles making it harder. Well, I'm going to do this, but I'll just throw in a little temptation here and a little temptation there. You're causing your own self to stumble. So do what you have to do for the whole season. This is not like or for that season, it's not like you can never go back. If you pay off some debt, live in that way. Feel what it's like to be free. Feel what it's like to not chase. When you have the impulse to do something or to get something, and I'll tell you, this is really interesting. A few days ago, I was going to buy a new frame for one of my favorite Jesus pictures, and I'd done a video that I loved. I needed a black frame because the white frame didn't match, and I had one in the cart. I knew I'd get my discount on it. I could buy it through my link. I had the money to buy it. It was only like $70. I'm like, okay, I'm going to get this. Well, as soon as I was going to buy it, my sister called. I picked up the phone, and we were on the phone for an hour. And then when I got back to what I was doing, I'm like, I'm not going to buy it. I'm going to put that money towards the debt. And man, and I knew that that was an intervention to keep me on track, because I almost bought it. I wasn't going to put it on debt though, so I was like, I'm not going to put it on debt. I'll just pay cash for it. But that cash is supposed to go towards the debt. See how easy it is to be, how we can justify what we want. So and there would have been nothing wrong with it. There would have been nothing wrong with me purchasing it. But it's, what do you want better? Run one race at a time. My one race is getting out of debt. So why am I going to make it harder for me by putting that $70 towards a frame that I don't need at this moment? I could wait until we move to get it. It's not even a need. Or put that towards the debt to get us to our future self. So see, you're playing, this is the daily renewal. Like, this is the daily thing. You got to catch yourself. The impulse, if you've lived on impulse for a long time, and I have lived on impulse for so long. Mindless eating, shopping, scrolling at night. I could not scroll at night anymore until I developed the ability to not check out and to not want things. And I started catching myself, well, I can't even scroll at night, because when you're in that kind of period of half awake, half asleep, and then somebody says you must have that, you're thinking with your like amygdala. Okay, so there's two parts of your brain. You're not thinking with your frontal cortex. You're not making a wise, logical decision at that time. You're making an impulse, animalistic decision, a decision that you're subconsciously wired to do, a paradigm. It's like you're making it off of the old you. And I bet you, if you do, test yourself. Well, don't test yourself, because then you buy at night, you impulse shop. You're scrolling. Somebody tells you to buy this. You buy it. The next morning, you regret it. Why did I do that? You're fresh. You woke up and you realize, why did I buy that thing? Did I really need it? Could I have waited? Ugh, gosh. And I've done that before. And then I'm like, when it gets here, I immediately have to return it. You're making it harder for yourself, and you're giving yourself more things to do. So when you're in that middle, that messy middle, where you're trying to develop that new person, you have to remove the things. Make it easier to become that person, I guess is what I'm saying. You're putting yourself in a situation where you have no choice but to become it, right? You have no choice but to level up. And it's going to make things happen much quicker than you putting your own stumbling blocks and then complaining about it. Because that's what we do. We do it to ourselves, and then we complain about it. We allow it, we tolerate it, we compromise, and then we complain about it. And then we justify why we're doing it. All right. That's all attached to your lower version of yourself. That's your lower you. That's not the person that you're trying to develop. That's not your 2.0 version. You could be very gifted, but undisciplined. And that's not going to get you very far. A lot of people have beautiful gifts inside of them, and they're undisciplined. A lot of people have a goal, but they're busy doing things that don't matter, that don't produce. So they're distracted. So they never reach their goal because they're distracted. They never produce their gifts fully, or are able to really cultivate it fully, because you're distracted, and you're not disciplined, and you haven't developed that part of you, and you keep avoiding developing that part. You keep turning back to your old ways. You keep going back to what's familiar and what's comfortable and what you do, because it's so uncomfortable to do the opposite. It is a struggle. It's a tug of war. It is so uncomfortable. We will justify the lies we believe our whole life if we let ourselves. I mean, think about it. We will justify it till the day we die. This is why I'm this way. And most of the time, if you are justifying it, it's never you. It's always someone else. It's because of this. It's because of the economy. It's because of the president. It's because of the inflation. It's because of this. Now, all of those things might be factors in making it difficult. Well, you better get better. That's all there is to it. When things get difficult, you got to get better. You got to get more creative. You have to learn to find creative ways to make an income. You have to be willing to step out of what you already have done and to build something new. You have to be willing to step out of that. You could also have all of the information. You could also be consuming all of the podcasts and all of the books and all of the information. But if you remain unchanged, what good is that going to do? What good does it do if you know? I know people that, man, you talk to them and you're like, they got a lot of knowledge, but their life does not reflect it. They do not produce, they are not producing fruit. They are living, it's almost like the knowledge got distorted. It was like truth and lies all mixed in together. And that's actually a tactic of the devil, because if you notice, all he needs to do is sprinkle in a little bit of truth, 10% of truth, for you to be like, that does make sense, even if 90% of it's lies. And that's how he draws people in, and that's how people get deceived, because it's one little thing and the rest is twisted. And sometimes, if you don't have the discernment, the twistedness sounds good. It sounds like, yeah, that is the way. Follow my heart. That sounds good. No, the Bible says don't follow your heart, that your heart deceives you. So, but follow your truth. No, the Bible says don't follow your truth. Follow the Lord's truth, because his truth sets you free, because it's the truth, not your truth, not my truth. We're not, the thing is with the truth. Okay, here's the situation. You could be looking at a book. I'm on one side of the book, you're on the other side of the book, okay? My truth is the front cover of the book. Your truth is the back cover. So we're sitting there arguing. We're debating over this book. I'm like, no, I see this book and it has a yellow front cover. And you're like, no, the book is black. No, it's yellow. Okay. Or a bowling ball, and the lighting from one side makes the bowling ball look another color, and I'm on this side. I'm like, no, it's a blue. Okay. Well, what is the reality above both of, quote, my truth and your truth? Is the book itself. That is the truth. It's like we're fighting over what we see based on where we're standing or based on where we are in life, and then we use that, and that becomes how we live our life, because that's all we see, that's all we experience, that's it. So we only know a micro part of like everything. But you could live in one part of the location and in the world, in a state, and that's all you know. You never experience anything else. Now, I'm not saying you have to go travel the world to be a well-rounded person, or, well, well-rounded. I just mean you don't have to travel the world to develop all of those areas, unless that's a passion of yours. But what you do have to do is seek the truth in all areas. Look for the truth. Don't look for the facts. Don't look for the reasoning. Don't look for the justification. Don't look for the excuses. Don't try to blame. Don't try to find a reason of why it is and this, and some people, you'll notice, like 3 years, they'll be talking about the same thing. Okay, well, I know somebody who, they were talking about the economy 3 years ago, and they're still talking about it, and they're blaming the president. I'm like, well, there was a different president 3 years ago, so who are you blaming? Oh, well, I'm blaming this guy. Okay, well, but before you were having the same issues. Has any of that improved? No, it's the same. Okay, so really it's you, right? It doesn't matter who's there, though it could have a factor in it, but really it comes down to it's you. So let's just stop dancing around the obvious, and let's just say it for what it is. You need to change. You need to get better. Oh, how dare you say that to me? Like, yeah, I need to get better too. We all can grow and develop. It's not like you've just arrived and now all of a sudden you know everything. You have to look at your life with start with the end and go backwards. Okay, so you're starting with the result and you're going backwards. If the results are not, that they're not your best, right? When I was overweight, I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, I'm pretty sure that this isn't the best I could look or the best I could feel, right? It's obvious. The body told me I don't like it, right? I don't like how this looks. Now, you don't have to hate your body, but you can be dissatisfied with how you've allowed it to get, okay? So unless you reach that dissatisfied area in anything, you're never going to change it. So you can't just accept things unless it's something that you can't obviously change, like you're missing a limb, you can't, change that. But what I'm talking about, if it's something that you can improve and you can do something about, then it's up to you to change it. If you're looking at yourself in the mirror and you're like, I don't like the results of how I feel. Okay, well, start there and then work your way backwards. What do I do all day? Do I sit? Do I get enough exercise? Am I walking enough? What am I eating? What am I thinking about? Am I sleeping enough? So you're looking at your habits that are actually giving you those results. And unless you look at the truth, you're never going to figure out and be able to work your way backwards and look at the patterns of what got you there. So you always start with the truth. And Something that I did to, and I'm going to go on something a little heavy here, but I used to be pro-choice and I'm pro-life now. And so when I was pro-choice it was a conviction from God that just made me look into it. The first thing I did is I watched a video of abortion. That was the first thing I did. I didn't argue with anybody. I didn't look at the pros and the cons. I didn't look at the facts around it. I watched a video. I got to the truth. And I watched what actually happens on different levels. I didn't need anybody's approval or anybody to argue with me about what I was thinking or changing, but I started there. And that was the eye opener. And then I worked my way backwards. Then I dug into the facts. Then I dug into how many women were doing it. Then I dug into the where it started. And then I dug into where I could still see how some women justified it. And then I was like, okay, I can understand the pain that they're in. I can understand the confusion that they're in. I can understand that they're almost a victim because they're not being told the truth. I can understand all of these things. But when it came down to it, it was what it was. You're killing a baby. It doesn't matter the stage of the baby. When people would say, well, that's just a fetus. Okay, the fetus is literally just the stage of the human development. It's like, it's a fetus, it's a baby, it's a toddler, it's a, teenager. It's just the stage of development. And anyways, don't send me messages debating with me on it. Go watch for yourself, because that's what I did. The truth sets you free about whatever subject that you're looking at. If you, on a lighter note, if you're looking on paying off debt, or you're like, oh, how come I don't have any money left at the end of the month or the end of the week? Well, look at how much you're spending and where you're spending it. Look at the interest. Add up all the interest on the credit cards that you're using. What did you spend that year in interest? I mean, when I started doing that, some of these cards, I had spent $750 on one credit card that year in interest. Times that by, I think I had 16 credit cards when I first started this journey in 2023 is when I stopped. But in February 2023, I had canceled and closed. I had 16. And I think I had like 70,000 in credit card debt. Ooh, yikes. Because I was mindless and I was impulsive and I just bought whatever I wanted and I did whatever I wanted. And we had lots of money coming in. It didn't matter. And I was like, oh, yeah. I was literally living in gluttony and impulse and not even realizing it. Until I started adding them up. And each card, I'm like, okay, so if each card was just $500, I mean, look how much you're spending on just interest. I'm talking about just interest. And then you're adding in the minimum payments. But if you keep using it, it's not going anywhere. And you know what I did to justify my spending? I gave a lot. Ooh, I donated. I helped people. I did. I loved it. I loved helping people. I was a cheerful giver. But part of me realized I was giving to just make sense of what I was doing. I was giving so big and so lavishly to justify buying more. Is that really how God wanted me to continue living? Even though I was doing good, I was doing good in my own eyes anyways, and I was just trying to justify my own habits. So unless you're willing to look at the truth, you're going to be stuck. And if you're not willing to look at the truth and you just want to get people's opinions or look at all the facts about things, you're just going to stay stuck, because there's a never-ending amount of opinions and facts on every single subject always. You could spend your whole life debating and arguing and wanting to be right and wanting to, oh, I feel good because I won that argument with that person and they believed different than me and I won. Well, good for you. You just wasted a day arguing with somebody that you don't even know about on Facebook. This is why it's so important to get your life in order. Get your home in order. Get your own stuff in order. You don't have to go win every argument. You don't have to go try to change and help everybody. Get out of the family drama. Get out of the BS. Get out of the nonsense. Clear the cobwebs. Get things in order. Streamline your life. And handle what you can handle, and stop being a little baby about it and whining about it and saying all these reasons why you can't do it. Get it done. Like, just do it already. And you're going to be an example to the people around you. Okay, that's how you're going to shift cultures, because you're demonstrating with your life. You're saying enough is enough. I'm breaking these chains. I'm breaking this bondage. I'm changing my family tree. And you're demonstrating with your life without even saying a word. You're doing what you have to do. You're walking the walk. Let the scoffers scoff. Let the mockers mock. God will prepare a table for you in front of your enemies and in front of the people who wish you harm. He is a just God. He sees everything. You don't have to waste time fighting those battles. You just have to walk in sync with Him, in His rhythm. Do what He's called you to do, and let Him refine you. Let Him develop you. Let Him bring forth beautiful fruit and a beautiful life. Walk with Him. Keep doing it. I know it's hard and I know it's tough some days. There's days where you don't want to walk. There's days where you want to give up. You're discouraged. I go through those too, where I get so discouraged. I feel like, am I even making a difference, God? Is anybody listening? I'm thinking sometimes, am I just talking to myself? I'm talking to this wall behind me. No, what? But God tells me, keep running your race, daughter. Keep speaking up. Keep doing what I've called you to do. And it takes time. And at the right time, when He says you're ready, He'll pull you out of that area. He'll pull you out of that, and He'll bring you to that next level. So keep going and don't give up.